On April 26, 2015, Vinyl tweeted, Pastabot 2000 attempts to hand me another bowl of pasta. Jesus Christ, not now, Pastabot. This is the Museum of Twitter, the show we talk about the most important tweets in the history of Twitter.com. This is one of those tweets where, if you were there, you're like, oh yeah, Pastabot, that was a great important tweet. But I feel like if you didn't join Twitter until 2017 or later, you probably have no recollection of this. Because it really was at the tail end of the weird Twitter era I'm always talking about, and it didn't really transition to being a popular tweet in the post-weird Twitter era. But I just love it because of its simplicity, I love it because of the visual, it's just one of my favorite weird Twitter tweets of all time. I also think that you could have a deeper reading into it, and some people have referenced it in a deeper way, and I'll get to that. But just at its core, the idea of there being a robot called Pastabot 2000, I'm imagining like an 80s movie robot that has a big bowl of pasta in its hands, trying to give you a bowl of pasta when you don't want another bowl of pasta, and you're like, Jesus Christ, not now, Pastabot. And I think that the word another in here is just perfect, because it implies that Pastabot has been giving you pasta all night, and maybe you enjoyed a couple bowls of pasta. I mean, having a robot that gives you pasta is not the worst sounding robot in the world, but at a certain point, you don't want another bowl of pasta. And so even though it's just a robot and it doesn't have feelings, you respond to it, Jesus Christ, not now, Pastabot. And I think the reason why I go to like an 80s movie robot is because Pastabot 2000 definitely sounds like the name of a robot from an 80s movie. But I think that the feeling that Vinyl is getting across, even if this wasn't intentional, is a feeling that we all have with a lot of modern technology. Like in the different times I saw it referenced, one of the most common ways I saw it referenced is people referring to either pop-up ads or different messages coming up on your phone or your computer. In his article, The Clippization of Human-Computer Design, Michael Correll says, I will sometimes say, Jesus Christ, not now, Pastabot, whenever software interrupts me at inappropriate times. For instance, to ask me to rate a mobile app or watch an unskippable ad, but not all the time, because then I'd be yelling about pasta at all hours, and that's not the life I want to live. When Sharknado updated his OS in 2019, he said it was bugging him with all new features and he cancels them every time, and all he could think is, Jesus Christ, not now, Pastabot. Jess says that anytime a machine does something she doesn't want it to, she says, not now, Pastabot. And on multiple occasions, people have shared screenshots of random alerts coming up on their phone, like when Mike showed a Domino's alert and said, not now, Pastabot, and when Fundamentally Lazy posted an inner balance alert and said, not now, Pastabot, Jesus. And not to get too deep about it, and Michael Correll's article that I referenced earlier goes into this in a much more intelligent way, but it definitely feels like technology these days is not really concerned with how much it's bugging us. At the very least, it's more concerned with getting a review or getting feedback or showing you an ad than it is being a useful service. Because I'm sure that a Pastabot would be useful in some context. If you're having a big pasta party with a bunch of people over, it would be nice to have a robot serving pasta. But very quickly, if the robot is serving you pasta when you don't want pasta, it becomes much more of a nuisance than it is actually valuable. And if that isn't the story of technology these days, I don't know what is. I found on 2 different occasions people implying that a new technology was the Pastabot tweet coming to life. Like when it was announced that Alexa would have a rudimentary form of emotional awareness, Zach said, the Jesus Christ not now Pastabot tweet is actually coming to life, word. Because presumably that Alexa would respond differently if you said, Jesus Christ not now Alexa. And the funnier example I found is that there's apparently a robot that you wear on your back that feeds you tomatoes while you run, and that led ACAB Rocky to say, Jesus Christ not now Pastabot. I actually don't think that this is a real invention. I'm sure this is just a dumb joke, but I took a screenshot of it anyway. 2 other jokes I saw that referenced it is in 2020, Gavin Burritos tweeted, 2020 bot attempts to hand me another bowl of horror. Jesus Christ not now 2020 bot. Because yeah, that's what the year was like. And Sammy again now says, doing a Jesus Christ not now Pastabot, but instead of Pastabot, it's the It Follows from It Follows. You know, referencing the movie It Follows. Now, probably the most interesting way I saw it referenced, and this is just a couple weeks ago, is Scott Hines from the Action Cookbook newsletter. Now, I'm not super familiar with it. From what I understand, it's a mostly comedic newsletter about cooking, about fatherhood, about football, and it very much has an upbeat tone. But he called his first blog after Trump's second inauguration, Not Now Pastabot. And what he meant by this is that he felt weird just delivering another upbeat, cheering newsletter in the context of what was going on. He did not want to see himself as Pastabot, just delivering another bowl of pasta, completely unaware of what his readers were looking for. But I think that that's a very interesting way of looking at this tweet, because every other example I've done is someone who is imagining themselves being tired of Pastabot. None of the other ones imagine oneself to be Pastabot. And this did make me think, am I being Pastabot when I give silly tweets the spotlight when bad things are going on in the world? Ultimately, I come down on no, but it is a thing that I am very conscious of. And I had never thought about putting it in the context of the Pastabot tweet before, so it kind of stopped me in my tracks. So I will keep delivering bowls of pasta as long as people want them, and I hope that should the time ever come where people are going to say, Jesus Christ, not now Pastabot, I wise up and stop giving the bowls of pasta. I really don't know what that means in this metaphor, but I had to continue with the metaphor. Follow me for a new tweet every day and consider subscribing at patreon.com/museum of Twitter. We get the weekly Museum of Not Twitter, and you can vote on what I cover on Subscriber Sundays.